Welcome to another World Services. Thank you all for joining us and welcome to another World Services for the Blind webinar. This one is on transitioning into the real world. Our audience for this is going to be high schoolers transitioning into college, but some of you may have been out of high school for a while, and that's okay, and wanting to go back to college or find a career. So you're in the right spot. So my name is Eric Yarberry. I'm our Director of Education and Training, and I've got Stephanie Smith, who is a teacher of the visually impaired. Stephanie, introduce yourself as well.
Hey, I have been working with blind and visually impaired students for 15 years, and transition has just been something that I've been really passionate about, and I enjoy helping people find their success.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephanie and I have worked with transition age youth over the 3 summers together. I've worked with transition age youth for about 7 years now. So I really enjoy it. Stephanie enjoys it. And we're pretty much open books, and I'm visually impaired as well. Stephanie can see, but she's been working around blind and visually impaired people for quite a while. So first thing what we want to address is, before you even graduate, what should students and parents be looking to do to make the transition a smoother transition? And Stephanie, you want to address that one?
Well, graduation is such a huge goal that so many families just think, okay, we'll get through graduation and then we'll make a plan. And I can't stress enough that graduation, if you wait that long, you're going to miss some deadlines, you're going to miss some opportunities. And so you really need to be having conversations about, what does my student want to do with their life as far as work is concerned? And then you can make decisions about the best pathway to get them qualified to do that. So that needs to start now at the latest.
So when you guys are sitting down with your student, your child, or as a student, you're sitting down with your teachers and you're looking to make a decision on a college or a post-secondary education institution, some of the things that you do to keep in mind is really break your big goals down into small steps. So yeah, you want to get a college degree, but I always tell folks, if that's your goal, start small, get your associates 2 years at a time. College for a blind and visually impaired individual it can be daunting. It's daunting for people who can see. And one of the things that you want to do when you're looking for these institutions is making sure that they actually have the services to support someone who has a visual impairment, and also that they have the degree or certifications that you're actually interested in. Just signing up for college and enrolling and hoping that they have what you want is that kind of, then you're just flying in the wind, and we don't want that to happen. So when you're transitioning into college or the workforce or post-secondary institution in general, some of the independent living skills that you're going to need are orientation mobility, assistive technology. You've got to be able to take care of yourself. But for me, when I was going through college, the biggest thing was the assistive technology. You're going to want to be able to access textbooks, learning management systems like Blackboard, Canvas, Google Classroom, and most schools now are using these systems. Pretty much every school is using, K-12 is using these systems. So if you've been successful in high school using the system, not necessarily passing or failing, but using the systems, then you've got an idea what to expect when you get to college. Every professor teaches differently, every instructor teaches differently, and not every professor, teacher, instructor has worked with someone who's blind or visually impaired. So self-advocacy is something that we teach at World Services for the Blind, and something that I think every blind and visually impaired individual needs to have, and every individual who's transitioning into the real world. And one other thing that I think really contributes to being independent is just being able to be accountable and actually getting stuff done when you say you're going to get it done. I mean, you'd be surprised. Just showing up to a job interview is a step in the right direction. Just showing up to class, I think, is one of the hardest things for people to do. Just show up, and that's really the first step. And if you're scared about that transition, most people are. Um, just one step at a time, honestly. Stephanie, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, and when students are in high school, they have their teachers telling them to show up, their parents telling them to show up. You know, they've got a lot of accountability built in that doesn't have to come from them. And so when they enroll in a college and go to a dorm, they've never had to wake up to an alarm, so they don't. And they don't show up for class, and no one calls and gripes at them. And sometimes things just spin wildly out of control because they've never been given the chance to be the driver in their own life, you know? And so I think having a program like a summer program where they can take one class where they're the responsible party is kind of a good way to get their feet wet. And it's a way for us to start to see some red flags before they totally tank an entire semester. Because then
Right.
we can help them through it.
Yeah. So some of the things that we talk about in our summer program, our 6 week summer program, um, it is the accountability and actually waking up on time and staying on top of your assignments. So, I mean, it's really, our students going through our summer program go through a 4 to 5 week college course, which it is like drinking from a fire hose, but you've got the support of Stephanie, um, who has worked in transition and understands that, you know, students need a little bit of support, but they're also, like she said, they don't have that teacher or parent waking them up every day. So, Stephanie, how can families and educators support students actually transitioning? What are some things they can do to make it easier?
Well, a big part of it is finding out what their goals are. I know as a parent, my goal is to have my children be as successful as possible. And so if I think they need college, I'm pushing college. You know, it's hard to stop and go, wait a minute, what do you want to be when you grow up? And really listen to those answers, because sometimes a bachelor's degree isn't what they need. If they're going to be happy as a dog groomer, you're not going to want them to go through 4 years of college and then turn around and be a dog groomer like that. That's a wasted 4 years. And so trying to find that harmony between the students' goals and our dreams sometimes can be difficult. But you know, if they don't know what they want to do yet, definitely go for that associate's degree, because that's a one size fits all beginning to college, and then they may not go beyond that. So I just think it's really important to make sure that we stop and listen and make sure that the goals these kids have are attainable and something that they could be really successful in.
I like that. Yeah, that's a big deal. And students who go through our course, we if we see that they're not ready for college, we make that recommendation. And just to elaborate on the course a little more, so you guys know what we offer, when students go through our college prep track, we have two: the college prep and the vocational. When they go through the college prep track, they're exposed to what the free application for federal student aid, I may have messed that up, FAFSA application is, um, applying for college, going through the full application, navigating the admissions process, reaching out to the disability center if there is one. The university we work with, University of Arkansas at Little Rock, has one, requesting their books in alternate format. If that's not a process at their university, really just equipping them with the knowledge on how to find digital books, um, reaching out to the professor of the course and letting them know, hey, I'm visually impaired. I need some accommodations. I don't need necessarily someone to take the college course for me, but this is what I need to be successful. Like I said, self-advocacy is really one of the big things that I push personally. And as someone goes through the course, we make sure that they're on track. If they need any other additional support, Stephanie provides the one-on-one tutoring they need. This course can be done on campus or remotely. If you have a student or you are a student who says, okay, I have the independent living skills that I need, but I just need to know how to navigate the college environment. You can do that remotely from your home, and Stephanie will work with you remotely. If you need more independent living skills, we can put you in a physical college classroom, and you can take some independent living skills at World Services for the Blind here in Little Rock. You can also take some assistive technology courses, financial literacy, Braille, orientation, mobility. So you get really all of that independent living that you need. Some people just need to learn how to navigate the college course, and that's totally understandable. We've got a great relationship with the university. Most of the professors that we work with that offer the entry level courses have worked with individuals with disabilities, so we've never ran into an issue there. Uh, Courses that I recommend for first time participants of the program would be something like communications, so speech communications, or a civics course, or a English 101 course. We've had students take a college algebra, and that seemed to have went well. And I think we may have had students take like a um, like a history or something else like that. But so that's kind of a rough overview of the college prep track. Students do get college credit for this, and they are in a course with other individuals going, to that course. So it's not like they're just auditing that. And then if your student needs help transferring that credit, I can help them once the program is over. Um, Students who leave our program contact Stephanie on a regular basis and say, hey, I appreciate what you've done. I feel so confident, and I'm actually able to do this on my own. So whether they come through this program leaving with college credit, or we figure out that, hey, college isn't quite what you need yet, this is a good starting point. And from my perspective, it really gives students essentially a taste of what to expect in living on their own. As far as before I talk about the vocational track, Stephanie, is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, you mentioned a lot of the courses that are offered over the summer that we've often put students in. I would like to encourage anyone considering this to choose a course that scares you a little bit. If you play to your strength, then you've spent a summer with time to focus on one class, and it was a class you were already good at. So pick the class that scares you a little bit. That way I have a chance to help you grow in that area. And then when you have to take like part 2 of that class in college without me, you've got those foundational skills already. So I don't want students to pick the easy stuff. This is your chance to focus on one thing. And so pick something that we can work on.
I like that. And Stephanie is really there for the students. So and I've seen that, like I mentioned with the college algebra, I've seen that work out really well. So as far as our vocational program, both programs run from the last week of June to the first week of August. So students are exposed to one another, and they get to hang out, and they're around students their age. On the vocational track side, students work in the community, out off campus, in the community, 4 hours a day in the morning, getting the work-based learning experience, learning social skills, again, the accountability, how to actually show up to a job on time, professionalism, and they earn a stipend for that. And they also go through the independent living skills, Braille, orientation, mobility, assistive technology, activities, daily living, financial literacy, if I didn't say that already. And then that program, the vocational track, again, just want to reinforce this, in my opinion, is really for someone who isn't sure what they want to do, doesn't want to commit to a college course yet. And I do push students, if I see that they're ready, I don't let them, if I see that they need a college course, I'm going to push them to that. So we look at all of the applications and guide students along that. But if the vocational track is what they want to do, they can also shadow some of the programs that we have to offer at World Services for the Blind. And those are assistive technology instructor, credit counselor, medical biller, massage therapy, credit counselor, information technology specialist, Microsoft Office specialist. So there's a wide variety of programs that they can shadow. They can kind of just really, it's more of a buffet. They can test it throughout the summer and just get an idea. And I'm not looking to pigeonhole someone into one of the WSB programs. We just want to expose them to just a wide variety of industries, just to see if that's something that they want to do. Our students also receive a workplace. It's an aptitude skills test on the vocational side. So if they want to just get a job after high school, we want to make sure that they're starting out in a field that they really enjoy and something that they're actually interested in. And that aptitude test will tell us where their strengths and weaknesses are, and then give us an idea of what career path or career cluster they're actually focused on. So do we have any questions so far? Because we can talk all day, and I want to open it up for you guys who have questions.
Eric, this is Sharon. Would you like to talk about residential and online and what's available? And we do have one question on Facebook Live, and it asks if this is a 5-week residential program. So you want to clarify?
Yeah, absolutely. So both options are available. The residential for both options are available for the college prep track. So residential and online. For the vocational track, you've got to be on campus for that. It's a 6-week program. Like I said, going through the last week of June through the first week of August. And so I think that answers your question. But one exciting feature that we're actually adding this year is partnering with the university, to where students who are on campus will be living in a university dorm and being exposed to the campus. If they're on campus and want to take a college class, they can walk to that class from the dorms, and the goal here is to show them, what they're going to be walking into. So that's pretty cool.
And if you guys on Zoom have any questions, you can always leave them in the chat as well.
And if you guys just have any questions you think of after the fact, send us an email to training@wsblind.org and we can get back to you for sure on that. Applications are due May 1st for the college prep track. If I get them in any later than that, it can be a struggle to work with the university to get those kind of slid in there last minute. So be sure, if you want to go the college prep track, or you have a student that wants to go to the college prep track, get us the application. And you can find that at wsblind.org and go to admissions, and you'll see a link to online application. Or you can go to wsblind.org, click on programs and services, and then you see transition age youth. And on that page, there's an apply link at the bottom. Okay, Stephanie, is there anything else you'd like to add?
One of my favorite things of working at World Services for the college prep program is the freedom that they give me to tailor the program to the kids who've signed up. So I meet with them the first few days and I'm just jotting down notes of what I think would benefit that particular group. So this is probably not good to say in front of my boss, but I have no idea what I'm going to do until I meet my students. And then I tailor our daily group lessons to what I think will benefit the majority of them. And so, you know, we always talk about disability services and about advocating for yourself, but like some groups, I tell them the library has a lot to offer. So I'm going to have a librarian talk to you from the college, or we're going to talk about time management and how to be more organized. And so I can completely tailor it to what I'm seeing happening with my group. And so I really do appreciate that freedom. And I feel like it makes me more responsive to my students, because they'll, you know, if there's something that goes wrong one day, they're like, oh gosh, she's going to do a lesson about this tomorrow. and they're right, I will. So I really do appreciate that. And it's a wonderful opportunity that teachers don't typically have to just jump in with exactly what's needed when it's needed. So it's a lot of fun. I love college prep.
And Stephanie, you're wonderful at it.
Thank you, Sharon.
Any other questions? Do we have any others in the chat, Lee?
Oh, we do not.
Okay. Like
And
I
we do
said,
We're on Facebook Live, but we put all the links out there for them. And please, anybody that's on, please pass it around your network and share the video so other people can benefit from this.
yeah, Lee will be sending out the recording afterwards, so you guys have that. Otherwise, just reach out to us if you have any questions, and we look forward to talking to you all soon.